Back in
We're here.
action.
We are here. Back in action. GSC 175, dude.
175, staying alive.
175 of these things.
Yeah, probably
So
more. Probably like 200 if you count the dead files.
that's true. Yeah, the dead files. All the dead files. Dude, we got Arnold.
Arnold.
Arnold
Let's make
weekend.
Arnold weekend. Yeah, dude. I know. I'm kind of sad not being out there.
I know. I was thinking about that today. I was looking at some videos and some people posting stuff. And it's just like, man, I kind of want to go as like a spectator one day.
Oh,
You know
that's
what I mean?
interesting. Yeah.
Just like full on spectator experience.
What are you gonna wear if you go as a full on spectator? What are you wearing?
Oh, I mean, CK. And
Well, I guess that's we're going like I just feel like you never know out there. Like maybe you want to go, with like some of those bodybuilder pants, like the hammer pants.
oh yeah, maybe a cut off, some cut off sweats, wrestler style.
Yep. I'm thinking this is what I do too is I grab one of those caffeine kilos crew necks, but I'm gonna get like a 3X and then you cut the collar out and cut the sleeves off right above the elbows.
I like that. I like that. Man,
A
remember we used
true
to
pump, a true pump cover.
the true pump cover. Remember we would always before events we would cut our work shirts into tanks for before the booth.
Yeah, so, yeah, man.
That
But
especially in Carson, we'd always cut the sleeves off. Remember that?
hey,
That was always fun.
yeah. Maybe I'd go do like under the football pads, maybe just make your own crop, leave the sleeves on it. The
That's the
man
move.
crop. That's like
That's the
Rocky
move.
Rocky Balboa style.
Just
Or
full on
Apollo
Rocky
Creed.
mode.
Yeah, you're going
So
for it. That's what I think I'm gonna start doing at the rock climbing gym now that they implemented the no tarps off rule, the tarps on rule. And so I've been trying to find a way around. So I think I'm just gonna start cutting man crops. I think I'm just gonna start cropping my shirts, just nice and high, and then just letting it ride.
yeah, that could be the move. Could be the move. I
Like girls can wear sports bras, that's fine. And so like, what's the difference? So I'm just thinking, like, how close can I get to this tarps rule?
just go full on sports bra.
You know what? Yeah, that might be the move. You think all these basketball players wearing it now for the tracking device thing. But it
Oh
just
yeah,
looks
that's what that
just
was. I was wondering. I was like, why? Oh, okay, that's the tracking. You got to know all your
yeah,
stats.
like yeah, they wear this whole like sports bra looking thing just to hold the little measuring device that measures their whatever heart rate, speed, yeah, whatever, like all their in game like bio data.
Yeah, that's
I
Do
think
you really need
I
all
think
that though?
I think 100%. I believe that is absolutely like majoring in the minors. Like I don't, I don't know, man.
I
I
think
don't
it's a
know.
little overkill.
Yeah, me too. That's where I'm at.
All right, I've turned down my. I think that's a lot better. I think I was coming in a little hot. Sorry, just adjusting. Just coming in way too hot. It was all the way cranked up in my settings here. Sorry. All right.
Soldier boy.
So do you think, Danny, that everybody should lift at the Arnold at least once in their life as a weightlifter?
Oh, oh yeah. I think that if you're a lifter, if you qualify, if you can lift the Arnold, you absolutely should.
Who used to run the Arnold meet? What was the name of the gym? Columbus Barbell?
What's up?
Was it Columbus
Did you
Barbell
just say
Club?
it? Yeah, man. This is bad. That I can. I believe so. Yeah, but it's different now. It changed over, right?
Yeah, I feel like USAW is like all in
Taken
on
over
it.
now.
I mean, now I sound like I don't know. Yeah, now I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, I can't remember what year that switch was though. I mean, so many things happen in the sport. It's hard to keep up sometimes, but yeah, I remember they were running it, and it felt a little smaller, right? It
Yeah.
wasn't as sexy as it has been in these past years, as far as like feeling like a uh, more national style stage, right?
Yeah, so I mean, this year there's a whole it's North American Series 1 and National University Championships are at the Arnold this year.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat the energy and the buzz that you get at the Arnold for all things. And it's like, man, you just
Yeah.
can't really get that experience. It's the travel sucks. It's part of it. It's cold. Um, but then it's just there's something about it. There's something about it.
There dude, talk about it being cold. It's like the coldest I've ever felt was in Columbus walking to the Arnold from my hotel room one time. Like
Yeah.
just something about that Midwest cold, like the moisture in the air or whatever it is. But I just remember walking to the Arnold from my hotel, and it was like 2 blocks, or 3 blocks. And I remember the whole way just being like, "Dude, I don't know if I'm gonna make it." Like it might be like Everest, like it's just gonna be like frozen bodies on the side of the trail, side of the road. I'm just gonna be in fetal position over there in the corner.
Dude, it reminds me of like in Terminator 2 when they put like the freeze on the metal guy and his body's just kind of crumbling from
Yeah,
like being
that's it.
frozen, the metal being frozen, just shattering. That's what it feels
That's what
like.
I felt like. When I think of the Arnold, one thing I think of is, I guess, and this is a question too, is like what do you think? We've talked about it before, like how we're kind of jaded from seeing people do these certain feats of strength or whatever, right? Like what's maybe the most impressive, like strength thing or just impressive physical feat you've seen, you know?
Oh,
And whenever I think about that, I always go back to Tom Callis in the animal cage, right? And he squatted 810 or 850. Honestly, doesn't really matter, but it was like 800. It was over 800 pounds. And I think at a body weight, he was like under 200 pounds. So, where he's like
Tom's an
right at
absolute
200 or
freak.
something. And it's like, what? It was one of those things. And like, got good depth, full on. And it's at the animal cage. There's 3 people deep, outside a chain link fence, just screaming at him. It's like he probably felt like he was in a fucking zoo. Like,
Oh,
absolutely. Like, you want people to get primal, like that dude. I just remember watching that and just being
people
like,
grabbing on the
holy
cage.
shit.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. Spitting on him.
more. Oh
Yeah.
shit, man. It wasn't at the Arnold, but I feel like one of the craziest feats of strength I've ever seen was actually at the CK warehouse when Tarakti
Mm.
behind the neck push press 200 kilos like it
Yeah.
was like it was 25 pounds.
Yeah. Behind the neck, snatch grip, push press of like 205 kilos. Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's on our YouTube channel if you want to see that, by the way. I feel like that whole session of him training there is on our YouTube channel. And I think that's on there. I have to go back and look at it. That's actually one of our biggest viewed videos. People still watch it till this day. They find it and
Yeah.
watch it on our channel. That was insanity. That was just crazy. There's strong. You see what you know as strong in your bubble, and then there's like what's actually strength.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just that
Totally.
shit was nuts, dude. Yeah, there's just something about the Arnold, man. You get your freak shows walking around, you get your townies that are like just checking it out. You got all the crazy. I remember when Bang was like coming up, man. They had the
Oh, dude, that whole thing.
it
They
was
built like a
just
stadium.
they built the
They
stadium
built
and they
like they
had
built like a miniature stadium and then just had like dance shows in there.
dance shows and just pallets on pallets of Bang and like sub sandwiches. Like, where'd you get a pallet of sub sandwiches delivered? I remember seeing like in the behind their booth. I'm like, what is happening?
Well, it's Ohio, probably Jimmy John's.
Probably, I think it probably was Jimmy John's. Yeah, there. Yeah, it might have been Jimmy John's. Shout out Jimmy John's. Yeah, man, it's just the whole spectacle of it. I think honestly, if I went back as a spectator today, I would want to see like the bodybuilding show and like watch that.
Yeah.
Like in
I went to a
eh,
boxing there one time.
the what?
Boxing.
Oh
I went to
yeah,
a
the
boxing
boxing.
match of the Arnold.
Then there's the fencing,
Oh yeah, and there's LARPing.
LARPing, fencing. Yeah, Yeah, every corner you take, there's something new and weird going on.
Dude, I'll tell you what I think of. One of my favorite things about the Arnold is the food hall across the street.
Yes, yes, the little
The what's it called like the market, like the Columbus, the
co-op.
food.
It's like a co-op,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but it's like it's the indoor market. Yeah, right across the street from the Arnold. You go over there, and then it has this big indoor food hall where there's all these different whatever. There's a Mexican restaurant. Anyway, there's this Polish place, and I remember it's good to go in there. It's getting like these pierogies, and it's like I had to limit myself. Like, dude, I could only have like 2 pierogies this week. Otherwise, like my feet aren't going to be able to fit through the door on the airplane. They're going to get so swollen. It's like it's
I
like
remember I think it might have been
extra
a sandwich
sodium for me,
place.
please.
Yeah, just load up, just load up. I feel like I remember there being like a sub or a kind of sandwich deli or something that had just like a, uh, one of those 50-gallon drums of just pickles. You almost go like bobbing for pickles. It was just like, what is going on here? Yeah, all the nice little like mom and pop shops, right? All the good stuff.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, love the Arnold. Really just want the food hall. Um, yeah, it's dude. That's the Arnold's just the whole vibe, the whole weekend there. It's just the people, all the what is it like 100 sports, something like that.
Yeah, I think at least at the time when we were going there all the time, it was. What was the last year we
Yeah.
went to the Arnold?
Well, I went in 2020 before the world shut down, and I don't know if we've been back since then. Like I remember that people were canceling their flights and they weren't sure if the event was going to happen or not because of COVID. And then they decided that the main hall was going to be closed, but then some of the sports were still going to take place. And our booth was inside the weightlifting room. And so we decided just to go for it, like see what happens. Like we already had all our flights, everything was already booked. And went out there and then set up a booth, and it was like just the weightlifters. Like actually, like did pretty well. And then we actually set up in a couple local gyms as well, like pop up in a local gym there. Um, but yeah, so that's why I remember that trip pretty well. I think that was it. I think 2020. I think that was the last one. Because then after that, the next year, I don't remember, they either canceled one or something weird was going on with it, and it was just like kind of up in the air for like I feel like a couple years after that. Like it took a while for it to kind of get back on its feet. It seems like I don't know. I'll be interested to talk to some people that are out there to see if it's kind of like back at full strength. Is it the Arnold of old, or is it are things still kind of weird out there? I'm just not really sure.
Yeah. I saw there's a couple things happening off site, like Corey's having that kind of like almost like a summit kind of type of thing,
Yeah,
right? Where you can go and hang out and listen to people talk about business and
yeah,
nutrition and gym culture stuff. It's probably happening at Old School, I'm guessing.
yeah. Shout out our buddy Kenny Santucci is going to be out there talking
I
at it.
saw that. I saw that. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Those cool little offsite things at those big, huge events are always pretty cool. So if, yeah, check that out if you can. I don't know. I think it's probably like pay to go though, right? I don't think it was free, but
The
um,
beats and barbells. I
yeah.
think that if Max Effort Muscle, if you're a subscriber to Max Effort Muscle, then you get in free. You get a free event tickets, and
Oh,
then
nice,
everybody else there's a charge for it. Yeah, dude, I
nice.
did that one time. Went out there for their beats and barbells. It was like 4 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. out there at Old School.
Oh
Went
man,
out
yeah,
there and took some dry scoop, some pre workout because I was like, whatever Corey's doing, I'm doing. And he dry scooped some pre workout, then I did. But then like someone started talking about something, and so the next thing I know, it was like 20 minutes later, and I'm like, I'm fucking on one, right? Because I don't really take pre workout. I just
yeah,
usually at this point just like drink coffee or whatever.
yeah.
Anyway, now I just dry scoop this pre workout. It's like 4:30 in the morning. I only slept 5 hours the night before, and then got up at 3:45 to drive half hour out there to Old School. So I'm in a bad spot. Like I was in that situation where like you look around, all of a sudden it looks like it's foggy. You're like, why is it so
Mm.
foggy in here? And then you're like, oh shit, it's not. That's me. I'm about to go down. And so it was. I realized like it was very clear. I had a choice. I was like, I either need to like start moving. Like if I start moving and start getting warming up, get my blood flowing a little bit, get distracted, I'll be
Yeah,
okay. or I need to go outside. Like I need to like go outside in the like 35-degree Ohio weather and like have that cold air slap me in the face and like get me going.
Snap you out of
Um,
it.
dude. So I told
It's like
Corey, I'm like,
smoking like it's
hey,
like
yeah. I told Corey, I'm like, hey, what are we doing to warm up? Like, I need to start moving, dude. Like, what do we? He's like, go walk backwards on those treadmills. Don't turn it on. I was like, oh, you want me to just go grind out the motor on that thing? He's like, fuck yeah, man, go grind that motor. I was like, all right, dude.
it's like, eating an edible that's too strong or like smoking too much weed. You're just like, okay, where's the pool table? Like, let's play some pool. Let's play some ping pong. I need to be distracted.
Dude, my buddy's a firefighter. So sometimes people call because they're too high. They show up to someone's house and they're like, I'm dying. You got to take me in. They're like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, I just, whatever, like, got too high, basically. And they're like, I don't know what to do. And they're like, maybe like, I'll make you a sandwich and maybe like play some video games. Like, what do you, like, I don't know, man. You got an N64? Like, let's hook that thing up. Like, let me see. You got any peanut butter, dude? Like, I'll get you a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Let's just get you a little distracted and get you fed. And you'll be right
Yeah,
as rain in
exactly.
about 25, 30 minutes. Um,
Yeah, dude,
it's so
it
funny.
was so funny to talk about. Like, oh, yeah, happens all the time.
That's hella funny. Um, yeah, Arnold, man, gotta go. I want to go back at some point. I don't know what that would entail for me to do it, but I want to make it happen at least
Yeah,
once.
dude. I'm just gonna go out there. I'm just gonna book a spray tan, even though I'm not gonna do the bodybuilding show, just to get the full experience.
Yeah, just
Walk
walk
around
around.
with my little robe on,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. Don't
my fresh set just poking out of my little robe and a nice tan.
hell yeah, yeah. And then it just that's the only place, one of those few places where you can do that. No one would even bat an eye.
No,
You can pretty much wear
totally,
whatever you want there. No one would bat an eye. It's pretty fair game.
dude. Oh my gosh, man. Remember when we were eating those all those Lenny and Larry cookies? This is like a
Oh,
personal story, but I feel like people would appreciate this.
oh
Is
yeah,
the
yeah.
Lenny and Larry's those protein cookies? They're right behind us. And when their pallet was getting moved in, like the pallet fell over and some of the boxes of cookies, like the boxes got ruined. And even though it's like they were fine, the cookies are still in their individual bags. They were like, well, we can't do anything with these cases. Like, here you guys go. And just like gave us like these, like, whatever, like a couple cases of these cookies. And so we're sitting there and they're like, yeah, hungry at the booth, man. It's like sometimes you're busy, you don't have time to eat. So he's like getting into these protein cookies. Well, whatever artificial sugar they use in those cookies, dude, that thing it's just straight up like I don't even know what to say. Like it's basically it's like if someone just put a air pump into your intestines and just started cranking from the outside. Like things just like fills you up. It's like a just like just fills you with gas. Like it's just so bloated. And anyway, and it's like I remember being like, oh man, I need to go to the bathroom now. And you go to the nasty ass Arnold bathroom. You get over there. It's absolutely disgusting. Takes you 7 minutes to like clean up the seat and everything. They're out of ass gaskets, of course. It's a whole
You're lucky to get
situation.
toilet paper too.
Yeah, and then you just sit down and just like fart into the toilet and then leave and leave unsatisfied.
Yeah,
You know,
purge the air.
just burns the air out. You think things are happening. You're like, oh man, things are happening. Like I gotta get there now. And the next thing you know, you're like, well, that's that. Just like all bark, no bite. You
All
know,
bark, no
and
bite. Oh
dude, and it
shit.
was like that. And then we kept doing it to ourselves. And then like next thing you know, though, I'm like hungry again, and I'm like, maybe I'll have another one of those cookies. And then just all weekend long, just in the pain cave. And then at a certain point, it just became kind of funny because it was happening to all of us, and then you just kept doing it for the joke. But it was
Yeah,
uncomfortable, man.
it's the promo lunch.
Yeah, bro,
You
that's
eat
right.
whatever's free. You eat whatever's free and drink whatever's free.
Yeah,
That our friends would bring us by that have brands, or it's just like the pallet situation, right? People are just handing shit out left and right over there, so you just
you
literally survive
go
off of promo food.
Lenny and Larry Cookie washing down with the bang. It's like no wonder you're having gastrointestinal issues. Like no wonder all three of us were just like constantly bloated and uncomfortable. Like,
Yeah, and
it was terrible.
then you start farting in the booth just to see. Like you get to a point of delirium at those events too, where you're working 5 days straight and
Just to
you're
see what, dude?
sleeping.
To see if it's going to be wet or not.
Yeah, you just rip one and see if the patrons smell it, and see if you can hear people talking about it. You get
Oh
to
my
that delirium
gosh.
point where you're just trying to survive, and then you start messing with people a little bit, just for a good
Oh,
for a laugh.
yeah, not a lot of sleep, a lot of processed fake foods, and then like, yeah, you're on your feet all day. Like you got a low level sweat all day, so you're nice and dehydrated. It's
Even
like
though it's
you
like
got to have,
20 degrees outside, you're sweating.
oh, dude, yeah. And then of course you got like the cortisone cream, you know what I mean, or the like anti chafe,
The chafe powder,
like yeah, Gold Bond or petroleum
gold
jelly. You're
bond,
like
gold bond.
passing off the Gold Bond tube, going behind the booth, trying to get things to a reasonable level.
Dude, yeah. Remember we brought I remember one year we brought the podcast setup, and it was the
Oh
most
yeah.
off the hinge
Oh
conversations with our friends, with people. I don't even, honest to God, I have no idea where that is.
well, so remember, I think Nathan Lowe was doing the interviews, right?
Yeah, but he was bringing over
And
like Huck Finn, you name it, of the controversial, no
oh
filter bonanza of people there,
well,
and it's just who knows what even was on those. No idea. I don't think I ever
well,
heard
I
any
mean,
of it.
he's a stand-up comic now, right? Like it's basically what you do. You take an up-and-coming stand-up comic and you have him go run the podcast at the Arnold. Like, no wonder it was a fucking disaster,
Oh
dude.
man, I wish we could find those somewhere, man. It was probably on an SD card that got washed or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Man,
Well,
good times.
well, I mean, all right, 25.1.
Lunges? So yeah,
Did
what's
you
the
do it
workout?
yet?
I have not done it
All right,
yet.
so it goes three burpees over a dumbbell. So you got to jump over the dumbbell, and
Mm-hmm.
then three hang clean and to overhead, right?
Okay.
And then,
Single arm?
yep,
Okay.
and then 30 feet of walking lunges, 15 feet out, 15 feet back. And the next round, you add 3 reps. So you go 6 burpees, 6 hang clean to overhead, and then just the lunges stay the same. And then
Okay.
9 in the lunges, 12. And so when I first looked at it, I thought that it looked like a lunging workout. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna be doing lunges the whole time. Then you realize you're like, well, yeah, maybe the round of 3, 6, 9. Once you start getting to double digits, and you're doing 12 burpees and then 12 hang cleaned overhead, like, well, now those lunges all of a sudden are getting, now you got a minute between those lunges. And then you come back and do 15, 15. It's like, oh, now you've got, like a minute and 20 seconds. It's going to kind of start spreading out. By the time you get into your 21s, 20, set of 18, set of 21, like there's probably 2 minutes between your lunges, right? So I think the first, I haven't done it, I'm gonna do it tonight, but my interpretation is kind of like, thinking about it and kind of look, I think it's, yeah, the first 5 minutes it's a lunges workout, and then the 10 minutes it is a burpees workout.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like this is one of those workouts where you just try and hold a good pace, right? You don't
Yeah,
want
I
to
mean, I
go
think
too
the
hard.
Yeah, I think the lunges, I think your heart rate comes down. I mean, there's not very far; it's only 30 feet. But the
Mm-hmm.
catch is, here's the little hiccup. Here's the catch in the lunges: is if you no rep, you go back to the beginning. Like you don't redo that step; you go back to behind the tape.
Oh wow, okay.
And so, it's only going to be whatever 6 steps to go at 15 feet before you turn around for your coming back. But if on your fourth lunge step, if you don't open your hips all the way, or your knee doesn't touch, or whatever, it's like, nope, you got to go back to behind the tape to for that rep.
I saw somebody on Instagram this morning do like I think 3 lunges to each direction. Like three, it only took him 3.
They had to do
It was a
splits.
super
What's
tall
going on?
guy, obviously, and he literally
I mean,
like stretched, max stretched out, touch. I think he got it in 3 steps.
that's dope.
Like, is that sustainable at that depth? When you're, there's a lot of fact. It was like
Right.
literally 1 rep this guy did, or 1 set he filmed doing this like ridiculous, you know.
Yeah, like I feel like that might be worse though, because like I kind of gonna want these lunge steps to get my heart rate down a little bit.
No, for sure, yeah, for sure. I think it was just one of those things like, oh, look at, you can totally game this in a funny way, just for
Oh,
just for just for
Oh, it was like when there's
content.
the shuttle runs and people were fucking walking on them. That was
Oh
gross.
God, yeah. There's always a
And
gaming.
like it's like,
Everybody
oh,
thinks they're
whatever.
gaming
It's
it.
about this, dude. Yeah, I got no time for that. And then the thing about the lunges too, though. Here's another thing: is with the no rep, is if your foot, say you're on the last step, and your one foot clears the line, you can't go on. You have to go over. Your foot clears the line, and then your other foot comes up to meet it, but your heel lands on the line. If you
Mm-hmm.
go to turn around without like moving your foot all the way up, then that's a no rep
Wow.
because both feet have to clear the tape for that rep to count. So
So you'd
you
have to
could
do like
potentially
another
get the
short
15
lunge.
feet down. Yeah, go all the way back and do that little 15-foot stretch again.
You can't just do another lunge.
No, no, because if you already started to turn around, like if you shuffle, because you
Oh,
can't
got it,
shuffle your
got it,
feet at all.
got
So
it.
like if one foot clears the tape and your other one goes up and your heel kind of lands on the line, if you could just then like pick your foot up and move it forward, you'd be fine. But if your other foot, if you just like start to turn around or whatever before like moving your other foot up to match to get it past that line, then it's like then that rep doesn't count. You gotta go back.
So is there a standard on how thick the line has to be? Going to be like
I
a
think well, I think it's just that's a good question. Well, I think it doesn't really matter, I guess, as long as you just have to get past it.
yeah. Because I was thinking like, man, like there's big difference between like a pencil line and a roll of tape, right? Like
Well, I think you
there's
just
that.
make sure that the outside of the tape is the mark, is where the 15 feet is, and then it doesn't really matter how wide the thing is.
Yeah, yeah.
So yesterday our kids class did it at the gym, and they just did a 10-minute version because they
Mm-hmm.
did it in class and they like judged each other and everything. Like did it with a partner counting your reps, and Maddie, my 12-year-old, and her partner, they both got into the 21s,
Nice.
and so and that was in, and that's in 10 minutes. And
Yeah,
so yeah, in 10 minutes they got and it's legit reps because they were like judging each other and everything. Um, so then that made me I was like, oh man, 15 minutes. That means like it just sounds like more reps than I thought I was going to be doing.
yeah, yeah. That's one of those ones where it's gonna suck no matter however you spin it. I guess that's every workout, but um, yeah, 15-minute cap. That's a long workout.
It's a long workout.
15 minutes
Yeah,
of
that's
work
a long time for doing those movements. But
for
again,
sure.
yeah, think about it though. The 24s, you're doing 24 burpees. Like how long is that going to take? You know what I mean? And when you're tired at the end of the workout, doing 24 burpees, right?
Oh yeah,
And you're
that's gonna take
probably
a minute. That's gonna take a while.
and over the dumbbell, so you're talking 3 to 5 seconds per. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean you're just doing burpees for it's going to be 2 minutes
Mm-hmm.
doing going through that set of burpees. So it's one of those things where I think that the first 7 minutes probably take forever, and I think the last like 4 minutes of the workout probably go by really fucking fast.
Yeah, yeah, and you're just in the you're in the shit, and you don't even
You're
know
just
what's
in it.
going on. You're just in it.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'm gonna do it tonight at 5 o'clock.
God, that sounds like a good one, man. My fucking ass is so sore. I've been doing lunges on my like the street, my I guess my street.
Yeah.
It's just on a huge incline. If I don't I want to know like I don't know how I would be able to measure like the incline of how steep it really is because it's super steep and it's probably like
Oh, I think on your phone, I think the phone measuring app might have a like a protractor.
interesting. Yeah, I'll try it out, see if it works. But yeah, I'll
The
just do that.
measuring the measuring tool works pretty good,
I'll try that. I'll try
which is
that.
crazy. I don't know how that shit works. I have no idea how that works. But like, yeah, you take your phone out, you hit the measuring thing with your camera, you're like, bink, bink. And like I've tested it, I've done it, and then I've like pulled out tape measures, and like it's been right almost every time, like with like super close.
I remember back in like the early days of iPhone, there would be like those like ruler app or something, and it was just dog shit.
They were
The
awful. Yeah,
technology
yeah,
wasn't there yet.
they got it worked out.
Got it worked out. Um, but yeah, I've been doing a lot of lunges. So my ass is
Nice.
just sore. So it's
Yeah,
just one of those things, man. You can just do some lunges, it makes you feel like you did something.
yeah.
You get that nice leg pump where you're just like, okay, get that natural testosterone flowing.
Oh yeah.
They say like, what do they say? Like the best way to like produce testosterone is by like heavy leg work or just like a lot of lower body stress.
Yeah.
I don't know exact science behind that, but I remember hearing that a bunch of times.
I think a lot of it has to do with you're gonna be able to move the most amount of weight, right? Like there's bigger muscles. Like the bigger muscles you get going, the difference it makes.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'm gonna do a shout out CK3K because people would still sign. People are still doing. People start signing up. CK3K, get you 3,000 squats, 30 days. It's gonna do. It's a mental challenge. It's great because there's for sure some days where you don't want to do it, but then once you just start, you get through it. You're always glad you did. But so I did that 3K, 3K, CK3K. Wound up snowboarding. I used to go a lot, right? I haven't been in like 12 years, like not
Mm-hmm.
once in like 12 years. Dude, I went 2 days in a row, snow, and pretty much from like 9:30 until 3:30 or 4, like pretty much the whole time's open. And dude, my legs are fine, like fine. Like
Really?
my calves are sore. My calves are hella sore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't been in. I noticed like my third run down, I was like, oh, dude, my calves are starting to hurt. I'm like, oh yeah, because I'm pushing with my toes, dude. I need to relax, and like lean more. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to
Yeah.
like muscle through some turns, right? Because I was a little out of practice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then once
Yeah.
I noticed that, I'm like, oh, and then I just like relaxed and just started like flowing through more. And then I was like good to go. So like this morning, yesterday and today, yeah, my calves are sore, but like nothing else. Like my hips are fine, my glutes are fine, my quads are fine, like nothing, like zero soreness after 2 days of fucking ripping and tearing basically the entire time lifts are open. It's like, dude, I remember when I went a lot. I remember when I went like a lot, like every weekend, and I was like working out then. I was in pretty good shape back then, but I was still sore like every damn time. Like it was just unavoidable. I'd be next day, my legs would be sore,
Maybe
right?
you're just doing
And
more variety in the legs, hitting more muscles.
I Dude, I think it's like I really think it has to do with just coming off CK3K, a month ago. Is dude, I put in, every day, whatever, put in 3,000 squats over 30 days. And like I just think that volume, I think my legs right now are just like squared away as far as like body weight volume.
Yeah. Yeah. Testament to CK3K, man. It
That's
gets
like
you
that.
ready
That's what I was
gets
thinking
ready
the
for
whole time.
gets you ready for snowboard season or the
Like,
end of
dude,
it.
legit. Yeah, seriously. It's great.
So did you get the kids on the bunny hill and all that stuff? And
Didn't take the kids. Um,
oh, nice.
yeah, Maddie
So
wants
you
to
actually
go.
had to get to have fun.
I gotta have fun. Dude, actually, it's kind of wild. I went. There's these guys. I know this one guy from Texas, and him and his friends like go on this ski trip every year. And this year they're in Tahoe, and so
That's
we
right.
went
That's
out.
right.
So I went up with them. So one, you just go stay in a house with 10 other dudes. Like it's just a good time already. Like you know what I mean. Like you're pretty much that's just going to be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
But it blew my mind how I didn't think these Texas boys were going to be such good skiers. Like I couldn't believe it. I'm like, man, because like they. But then I was thinking about it, and it's like, I've been doing this a long time. It's like, well, yeah, but they go on one trip a year, but they go on one trip and they go 4 or 5 days in a row. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, even if you live around here, like a lot of seasons when I was going pretty regularly, I'd go 4 or 5 days. You know what I mean? The whole season. Like if you go once a month, you're only going to go 4 times. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or like say you go twice a month, even you're only going to go 6 or 7 times. You're not really right. And so they go every year and they go 4 days straight every year. It's like, well, you probably get better faster doing that than doing them spread out, right? It's like it's the frequency thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like swim lessons. When kids take swim lessons, they go like every day for 2 weeks, because like the more frequent exposure and the feedback loop is quicker. And so I was thinking, like, that must be it, dude. Same thing, like just that feedback loop because you go every day, 4 days. Anyway, these dudes were just ripping. It blew my mind. They do the slopes app and checks your speed. Then at the end of the day, they'd compare top speeds. Dude, this 60-year-old guy is like he got the top speed, fucking 70 miles an hour.
70 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Man,
dude, 60-year-old gray haired dude with glasses from Texas coming out here and ripping down heavenly at 70 miles an hour.
that's wild.
Dude, it's like these guys. I'm telling you, man, these guys were legit. It absolutely blew my mind. I thought like they were going to be like having a good time, picking their way down the hill, type thing. It's like I got up there Tuesday. They had already been at it for 2 days. They're going into day 3, and so they got all the
They're in
kinks
the
worked
flow
out.
state.
They got their legs under them. You know what I mean? And like, dude, I was like, yeah, it blew my mind. It was wild.
Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. 70 miles an hour. Man, I couldn't imagine doing that these days. Also, you can go a little faster on skis, I think, than the
For
snowboard
sure.
to
Yeah.
an
Yeah,
extent.
definitely.
But gosh, yeah, man, I
Yeah,
remember
dude.
just being reckless.
CK3K, get your legs ready for snowboarding and skiing. Just
Get
like
them
that.
ready, man. Get them ready. The another thing, speaking of CK, I'm super pumped for this month's coffee of the month.
Oh
The
yeah.
dude, yeah. So March, if you're a subscriber, you're in for a treat for March. Some really tasty stuff coming, man. We made
Like
a
dark
switch.
chocolate, caramel.
Yep, dark chocolate caramel, but it's just I how do I say this without just saying it? I guess, but man, we made a switch this year with our coffee uh,
Roaster.
roaster, and our coffee was great before. Don't get me wrong; it was high quality, but there's just some people just do things a little different, and I'm just
Yeah.
really, really impressed with the the flavors and the quality coming out of our new roaster. And yeah, I think that um, it's the best it's ever been, straight
I
up.
agree. And another thing about that too is that we changed the format, kind of restructured the way we do some things. And when you buy coffee now, it comes straight from the roaster. Like before, the roaster would deliver to us and we would ship out, and that was fine. It was always super fresh. Like we got deliveries like whatever once every 2 weeks. So the coffee we were moving out was always within the last 2 weeks, right? Which is definitely fresher than anything you're buying at the store. But now the it ships straight from the new roaster, and like, dude, like I'll get the bags and on it has the roast date on it. And so I'm like, oh, the bag showed up on the 18th, and I look and the roast date was the 14th. I'm like, yeah, dude,
Yeah,
like it's like
days
basically it's
ago.
like within it is shipping out within a week. Like it's essentially like roast on demand, right? Like they ship out quick. They ship out like that day or the next day, and it was roasted like the day before that. Like they're basically just like roasting what they need for the next day. It's like what's going on. It just blows my mind how fresh this coffee is, man. It's so damn good.
I have a funny story about coffee of the month. Actually, I my mother in law was at the office, and she was telling somebody because they're a subscriber on coffee of the month, and one of her friends wanted some coffee, and I think she had mentioned, oh, my son-in-law has a coffee company. I'll bring you a bag, whatever. And so she had it out on her desk, and she works in, I think, what's it called, like she works for like a temp agency where she kind of manages regions
Yeah,
for temp work or whatever. Anyways,
got
so they had corporate in town at their office, and one of the corporate guys saw the coffee, and he's like, "Whose coffee is this?" And she's like, "Oh, that's so and so's. I brought it for." He's like, "Oh yeah, what do you do? Do you like go? Do you do CrossFit or something? Where do you where'd you get that? Where'd you get this from?" She's like, "Oh no, yeah, my son-in-law is one of the owners of the company." And he's like, "What? They're huge. What do you mean?" And anyways, there was this cool little interaction um,
yeah.
with this guy. He goes to a CrossFit gym, I think somewhere. I don't remember where. He's from out of town. He's not from California, but that was pretty funny. That he
Yeah.
was like so stoked and so intrigued to see that, and just couldn't believe that like this lady that works at the office is the relationship there. And I always those kind of stories, man, always make you feel good. It's always fun
Yeah.
to hear those things. It happened to me actually like 2 days ago at another thing I was at. Someone's like, "Caffeine Kilos, you own that?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Yeah, me and my partner Danny. Yeah." He's like, "Oh no shit, that's crazy." That's just still
I'm gonna tell you.
happens.
I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. The people are out there. The Knights of the Grounds table
The Knights of
are
the
they're out
Grounds too.
there.
Man, I haven't heard that in years. That's
Yeah, they just.
funny.
I was gonna, man. I mean, we could workshop this right here in front of everyone. I still think, man, like we just got it. It's so funny. It's been so long we haven't yet, but just the whole idea of like the C&K community, Team C&K, Team Cap. Oh, that's active lifestyle crew. Like I feel like
I just saw that logo.
the
I just saw that logo we made for those when I
the
was looking through some
Kilomites.
stuff. The Kilomites.
the,
The Kilomites.
the kilomites, the caffeinates, the caffeinators. I don't know. I feel like we need a name for our community, man. It's
We do.
and this little inside baseball, type thing as far as like marketing talk and everything. But I just really, like I feel like I'd like to be able to talk to all of our customers and like be a part of something, right? And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
at one point, people did vote for Knights of the Grounds table, but I think that was just because it was so ridiculous. It wasn't. I don't think it's actually good. I think
I'm
it's
pretty sure we
just.
workshopped that on the podcast also.
We did. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it was just so I think it's just so bad that it's like funny and that's why people voted for it. I don't think anybody actually thinks it's good. Kind of like
that's
the kilomites, caffeinators, caffeinates. I don't know, man. I think people should
something
let us
there.
know. Send me an email, Danny
Yeah,
at caffeinekilos.com. Let me know
yeah, or DM.
what should we call the C&K community, man? I don't know.
Yeah, leave a comment if you're on YouTube. Leave a comment. Uh, yeah, or shoot us a message. Knights of the Crown Table, man, it's gonna be hard to beat that one still.
It's, dude, I don't know, man. Yeah, yeah, the caffeinators, the kilo. I don't know. The
So funny.
kilobytes. That sounds like a like you're in church and you hear about like there's like the Sumerians and the Kilamites.
Yeah,
It's
just some just group of people in back in the
yeah,
day.
yeah,
The
exactly.
Moors, the Moops. Thinking of Seinfeld. It's the Moops. The Bubble Boy episode. They're arguing over Trivia Pursuit. Um,
Yeah,
man, that's so funny. So did you get to have a nice little deck coffee in the snow in the morning?
dude. Let me tell you how. Okay, so yes, a lot of those guys drank coffee, but you know what I find is a lot of people don't drink coffee like I drink coffee. It's just this thing I keep running into time. And so this house was again, there's 11 of us there, so it was like it could be three rentals in one. Like there's like a little one bedroom apartment that has like a little living room to pull out couch, and there's like a studio, and then there's like the house, but they're all connected. And so we rented out the whole thing. And it was actually dope. It was slope side. And so you just like walk out the garage door and like across the street. And when I say it's like a one way of this like parking lot for this con. So like walk across this little like street and then just like you're on the slope. You strap in and like snowboard down to the lift. And so like end of the
Oh
day, so I
shit!
like and so it was great. Like I'm not used to at lunch. Like when I was a kid, my dad was like, fuck, we just not eat lunch and just like have snacks or like whatever. And anyway, so I've never done this. So like, oh, okay, let's head back for lunch, and we just like go back, just like pull off the side of the slope and like walk in the house. It was like
Oh, that's
ski in,
sick.
ski out.
That's the only way to
It
do
was,
it. That's the only way to
dude.
do
It
it.
was. Oh, I'm totally spoiled now because I've never done that. I've always just gone for the day. I've never like stayed up there. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
no, me neither. At least if I did
But it
stay
was
out
like,
there, it was like off resort.
dude, it was a whole different experience, right? Because normally, like from here, it's like you'll leave at 6 in the morning to get up there, and you're kind of, and then you snowboard in, and you're fucking exhausted, and you're like driving home, like trying to stay awake, and this whole thing. Dude, waking up, I'd get up in the morning like the same time I always get up, but it
Yeah.
wouldn't be this like getting up and going and driving. Like I get up, we'd do our call or whatever, and I was like hang out, get some work done, spend like an hour to knock some work out, and then go up and then like eat breakfast, hang out, and it's like, and then it's like, oh, 9 o'clock. Oh, well, let's wait like 30 minutes for the snow to soften up a bit. Okay. Oh, 9:30. Okay. Yeah. And it's like head out and then, yeah, come back for lunch and like whatever, half an hour, like take your boots off, kick your feet, whatever. Change. Oh, you're hot. You just take off your long johns. No big deal. It's like,
You go throw them in the hamper, go back up.
dude, throw them in the wash. Yeah, seriously. Like, and then end of the day, same thing. It's like you're done, and you're just like, oh, look at it, it's 4 o'clock, and then you just like go in and like have a seat, hang out, start making dinner. It was like anyway. The
That's
point of
sick.
this
Yeah,
is,
I would if I did that, I would never be able to do anything else.
dude, it like I feel like I got one more day on my pass, and I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I got to like drive up there and snowboard and drive home. Like that sounds like it sucks.
Oh, that's right. Now you buy like almost like a punch card now, huh? Is that how it
You like
goes?
have to. You have to. So like the Epic Pass is like basically this is what's going on. It's like roll ups, right? It's like Vail bought all these major resorts, and so then they strong arm you, where you basically have to buy a pass, right? So like the Epic Pass in Tahoe region is good at the most expensive resorts, like Heavenly, North Star, and Kirkwood are all on the Epic Pass, and then also like whatever Vail and like whatever these different places. So the thing is, like 3 day pass is like $349. So okay, a little over $100 a day. Like not those places are all super expensive. Like that's kind of whatever, dude. If you try to guess what a single day lift ticket at Heavenly is?
Oh gosh, $200.
Walk up single day, $242.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Right?
expensive.
And like that's not rentals or that's just like walk up lift ticket. So you basically like you just have to buy a 3 day pass because for $100 more you get 3 days, and you can go to all these. You can go to these different resorts, right? And so even like a season, you get like a full season pass. It's like whatever. It's like 600 or something, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's just like they basically force you to get these passes now to make it like worth going, you know. Um. Anyway, so coffee. Back to that. So it's like I stayed in like a little apartment. A place is connected, and so down there's a French press, and I checked ahead of time with one of the guys down there. They had a coffee grinder, so I took a bag of PR blend, and then in the morning I get up, grind the coffee, make it's a big ass French press, make the big ass French press, and I'd get 2 or 3 cups of coffee in the morning before heading up into the main house, and then like they had 2 coffee pots rolling, and so it's like, oh, well, look at all this brew sitting there. I better pour some of that up now too.
Oh yeah, no, nobody. Yeah, you're a next level coffee drinker. I'm like one of those guys where kind of have my like one big cup, and that's kind of it. You like to just kind of just
Dude,
do. You're a big mug guy though.
I
You're a big
dude,
mug guy.
I get a big mug and I put down 2 of them. And so my wife too, man, it's like, she's a nurse. That's the whole thing. It's like we go through, that's why we use the standard like drip coffee pot, because I mean, it's like a nice one. That's like a little bit, it makes better quality, but um, it's a speed brewer, man. It gets 10 cups of coffee in like 1 minute.
Oh
Like, and
yeah.
it's like, but it's got the tank in back that keeps the water at temp. And so it doesn't burn so it's like, it doesn't burn it. It's like the right. And so as soon as you start it, it's like, boom, it already has the hot water in the back that's at the perfect temp. It's basically like a pour over, like an automatic instant pour over type thing. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we do pot of coffee every morning, and that thing's gone before we both leave the house. And so a lot of times, and then we go through about a pot and a half a day, and then
Yeah.
the second half ends up in a jar in the fridge for the next day. You know what I mean? You got to have that. You got to have it ready just in case.
Yeah, just ready to rock. The yeah, I'm always kind of make it all of my coffee equipment is all like single use stuff, right? Like the French press.
Mm.
I mean, French press you can pour a couple cups, but then we have the espresso machine is which we use every day is but it's like yeah, single serving. Um yeah, I just kind of make one big one like a quad shot or something and a tumbler and that's kind of it. And then if I do in the midday, I might do have a midday coffee, but yeah, you're next level with the if
Doing
there's a brew going, you're drinking it.
Yeah, I want to pass that up. And then and then in Tahoe, when I went to leave, stop by our boy Nick Visconti's Drink Coffee Do Stuff, the South Lake Tahoe. They got 3 shops around there. They got South Lake, Truckee, and Incline Village. Yeah, stopped at the South Lake one. It's the only one I hadn't been to. So stopped there, and I had a little bit of stuff I need to get done. I was like, when I get home today after this 3 hour drive, the last thing I want to do is like immediately pull out my computer and do this, and it had to be done before 5.
Yeah.
And so on the way, so it's like boom, pulled in the little coffee shop, got a cortado, and
Ah,
yeah, sipped on that for got my like 45 minutes, hour of stuff done, and then packed up, made the drive back.
nice. And does he work at any of the locations or does he kind of more just work at the hub?
Yeah, I think he works the hub. I think he works the hub because they have the 3 shops and they also have roasting facility and all that stuff. I think that he mostly works at the roasting facility. But he pops around in the different stores from time to time. Sometimes when I'm going through truck, I'll hit him up and he's at the shop or whatever, or we'll
It's
meet me
pretty
down there.
crazy. It's pretty crazy seeing that whole thing unwind, that whole brand kind of blossom. Because remember, we went down there and shot some content with him at his original
Yeah,
roaster,
and
and
he had no shops yet, no coffee shops yet. It was
didn't have a
just
coffee shop.
bags and stores
Yeah, bags and stores,
and
and
just a few
yeah,
stores.
and now he's just taking over the entire town.
And dude, Northern California grocery. I mean, dude, he's in the Save Mart here in town.
Yeah, yeah, he's right across. I'm kind of in the. It's he probably has a contract with Bel Air or whatever, but yeah, they got it here. He has a little like they even have like a little
In cap.
oh, actually no. So actually, they now have there's at my Bel Air there's a coffee shop, and it used to be chocolate fish or
Yeah.
some shit, but now it's drink coffee do stuff coffee shop. So technically,
Like there's like kind of like there's like a Starbucks and Target. It's like that.
yeah, but it's drink coffee do stuff now. It's his,
Ah, that's
yeah. So they
rad.
got like a little area for like you can get some apparel if you want. You can get the bags, but yeah, if you go to the counter or whatever and they make you a cup, it's their stuff. And they got the little sign, up there, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Just cool seeing that evolve into into the brand it is now. It's pretty awesome. Good people for sure.
Oh, Nick's a great guy. A fun little story about Nick is when he used to be a professional snowboarder, and I interviewed him. I talked to him a little bit when I was writing the book, and he's in there. He's chapter one. Anyway, he was saying when he first started telling people he was going to want to be a pro snowboarder, basically like 9 out of 10 people is kind of like, yeah, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's the one person who's like, you can do it if you like, if you like set your mind to this and you dedicate the time and whatever, and it worked out. He's like 16. I think by the time he was 18, he like had his first pro deal with Arbor, and like they like kept him going the whole time. And then in the end, he had like the final part of a couple movies. He had an ESPN like magazine article about him, like pretty much made it, as big as you're going to get essentially in that type of thing.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and then, anyway, then same thing. Then when he was transitioning out of that and into the coffee business, he's told people he's going to start a coffee company and name it Drink Coffee Do Stuff. And 9 out of 10 people told him that was a stupid fucking name and it was never going to work.
Yeah. That's usually when you know it's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, my kids love it. If we're driving through town, like they roll down the window, start yelling "Drink coffee, do stuff." They like chant it because they think it's funny. Like "Drink coffee,
Oh,
do stuff, drink coffee, do."
it's super catchy, and they've always been really good with branding, and
Yeah,
they've got
hell
all that
yeah,
shit on lock. But
yeah.
yeah, that's sick. Yeah.
Oh, obviously, people should be drinking caffeine kills coffee, but if you're in Northern California at the grocery store, and so honestly, it happens to me. Like if I'm out of our coffee sometimes, and I'm like, shit, dude, like I need a bag to hold me over till the next one comes in. Like that's what I get. Like
That's all yeah, that's same in our
I'll go and
house.
get drink coffee, do stuff. Yeah,
Only coffee I've paid for, probably, I'm not even exaggerating. I really mean
yeah. In the
this.
last 12
In the
years,
last 12 years, only coffee I've ever paid for has been that coffee.
yeah,
Yeah, I was like,
for
there's a
sure.
no brainer. If it's gifted coffee, that's a different story. But it's
Yeah,
yeah, if you're up in that Tahoe area, obviously stop by there and say what's up, poke in, take a CK sent you,
yeah. Let them know.
let them know. All right, so you're gonna run the open to work out tonight potentially.
I'm doing it tonight, 5 p.m. Heat one of Excel Friday Night Lights.
Is that the class workout today?
No, we did it different this year. We've always done that before, but this year we have one of our coaches just loves the open, and like this year, he was like, you know what, can I do it and like really push it? I'm like, yep, sounds good. You want to take control of that? Go for it. And so he's like, well, to encourage people to actually show up and do it because he didn't want to run Friday Night Lights and have no one show up to do it then, type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Nowadays, you
Because
just
they
don't
do it
even
during.
know these days.
Yeah, well, like me personally, like dude, honestly, like I would probably just do it during my normal 8:30 class that I go to, and then like instead of doing it later. So what it is basically, it's like, oh, here we go, Friday nights, all starting at 4 o'clock. We don't have this. That's Friday Night Lights. That's what we got going. If you're signed up for the open, like this, when you do it, like come down and do it now. Like that, this is your option.
Yeah, yeah.
And so anyway, so it's been interesting not doing any classes, but it's been good. And we got like 60 people signed up. Like got
Oh, sick.
pretty good
Yeah,
involvement on it.
that's good. Yeah, I think I like that idea better. I think is kind of separating it. It makes it feel more special. And it also gives people
Yeah.
the opportunity that aren't interested to not do it. Some people don't like the
Yeah.
pressure. Some people don't care, and they can just do the regular
Yep.
class.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Potentially maybe there's someone who would have signed up because they're going to be doing the workouts anyway, so you might as well. But I think that for every one of those people, I think you get someone else who shows up to do the workout during Friday Night Lights and gets the full experience who otherwise wouldn't have. Right. So it ends up being a wash, I think, in the end.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, 5 p.m. So look for that Instagram post at 5:16. Sweat Angel.
Sweat Angel. Yep, the old classic Sweat Angel, the open Sweat Angel. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good. That's got like the first workout energy all over it. It feels like a classic open first workout.
Nobody's out because they can't do the movements.
Yep, yep. The inclusive workout, right? There's not any barbell yet. No gymnastics yet. It's a kind of a grindhouse.
Dude, you need one dumbbell and 6 feet of tape.
Yeah, yeah. You're all set.
Not even. Or a piece of chalk. You know what I mean? Like you just need 2 lines on the ground and one dumbbell. And that's it. You're ready.
Ready to rock. Classic CrossFit.
So, all right, dude. Well, there we go. GSC, another one, 175.
175. Yeah,
What do we?
keep an eye out for Danny on that leaderboard after tonight. You're going for the number one spot.
What we? Dude, after my last week of eating and stuff, I'm not so sure that's it. What did we learn today? What did we learn in the last hour? We learned the kilomites is
Kilomites.
we're now listeners now the kilomites. We got a 25.1. Goal is to beat my 12-year-old daughter's 10-minute time in my 15-minute time. And Caffeine Kilo's coffee of the month next month is coming out fire.
Yeah, coming out. And also, yeah, don't forget to take that opportunity if you ever have it to lift the Arnold.
Go to the food hall. Go to the food hall and get a pierogi.
Go to the food hall and stick your head in the pickle bin. See if you can how many pickles you can bob for. You might get kicked out, but
Did you ever see that movie American Pickle?
no.
Oh my god, dude! It's Seth Rogen is an American Pickle, and it is actually really good in all the weirdest ways.
Is it a cartoon?
No, uh, I mean, we got to go here, but whatever. 10-second version is he's a new immigrant to the United States, and he's in New York or whatever as a Irish immigrant, and he's at this pickle factory, and he falls into a vat of pickles, and it gets covered, and nobody sees him, and then the factory gets shut down, and then 200 years later, some kids are fucking around in this old abandoned building and remove the lid, and that he comes out fully preserved. And so it's a
when did this come out? What the hell?
So check out. So it's basically it's a time traveling thing, right? So that sets up the premise of it's a 1700s or 1805, or 1830s, whatever, like Irish immigrant who is now living in 2023 in New York City, right? And so someone finds him. He goes, they find his like next of kin, and there's like he's got some like great nephew that's like works in tech, and now he's like navigating the modern. It's like Encino Man essentially. It's a version of Encino Man, but it's with Seth Rogen and like modern day.
Dude, I don't know how I haven't heard of that.
Oh, and he's all racist and shit because he's it's just
he's just stuck in the wrong different times. Oh man,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to find that.
Yeah, he's just dropped. Yeah, I think I watched it on an airplane.
I think it's a total airplane movie.
I think exactly. I'm like, sure, and it was good. Like it was, but I think like it was super low budget. There's like 7 people in the whole movie. You know what I mean? Like it's like.
Well, clearly this was self-funded. Clearly, he funded this movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's. Dude,
I'll pull up. I'll add the what's it called? 2020. So it's a COVID movie.
Yeah.
I'll post a picture of the movie poster here. I'll add it to the show. People can see it.
I like. Is American Pickle based on a true story?
Of course, someone searched that.
I just Googled it to see what year it was made, and that's one of the.
Oh man,
like the first. Dude, that's great. An American Pickle is a Jewish Hollywood film starring Seth Rogen. The story is semi-autobiographical magical realism with Rich himself as the main character and a fictionalized version of his great-grandfather. Anyway, that's what Google tells me when you.
So it's loosely based off
the AI overview. What's that?
So it's loosely based off of true events.
It's based off of a story, and so the film's directed by Brandon Trost and written by Simon Rich, based on his. So here, a 2013 short story called "Sellout," and then someone read it and thought, and then like they made it into this movie with Seth Rogen.
Oh man, yeah, check it out then. What is it called again? Pickle what?
An American Pickle.
An American pickle. It's like a play
Dude,
on words.
it's great. It's great.
Oh
Highly
man! All
recommend.
right, well that's it.
All right,
It's
there you
the
go. That's what we
that's
learned.
your homework for the GSC 175 is to go watch that movie and
Yeah,
let us know what you think.
yeah. Seriously.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week on GSC 176.